Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will talk about this classification of elements and their periodicity and properties. Whatever the entities, whether it is a physical entities or chemical entities, or maybe biological entities. Okay. The classification or arrangement of a particular entity is very important. For example, if you see the plants, we are classifying them as flowering and non-flowering plants. Okay, and broadly, and then again the flowering plants, we will again classify based on its a class, subclass, and all other parameters. In a class also, if you classify, okay, you can see in the class, okay, there are many students, right? But if you sometimes you need to classify, okay, how many girls are there, how many boys are there, or else, if you are going to have some competition, say tug of war, okay, you have to see how many people are having the weight above 50 kilogram or say 60 kilogram. Okay. In chemistry, this classification, the periodic classification, I mean, the elements got classified based on its uh, different chemical and physical properties. And, it has immense applications and importance. Okay, then we are thinking because, actually the classification in the periodic table, it has made the entry of, it made the discovery of some other elements, some transuranium elements, say something like the siaportium, mendelevium matter. Also, the advent of the periodic table, it has made the uh, study easier. Okay, actually, you can see some of the quotes over here. What the great scientists are saying, Carl Borig, Sharpless. What he said is, what the ocean was to the child, the periodic table is to the chemist. That is an absolutely and wonderful comment, right? Because the periodic table, it is. See, suppose I will tell you in a simple way. You are preparing an electrocatalyst. Okay. See, suppose nickel oxide. Okay, and you found that electrocatalyst do not have that much of electrocatalytic efficiency, or you want to improve it, and you want to go ahead with the new compounds. Then easily, you can see below the oxygen in the same group, there is sulfur and selenium. So you can go ahead with nickel sulfate or nickel selenium. So how we are able to think suddenly that, okay, instead of oxygen we can go with the sulfur or selenium, because both the oxygen, sulfur, and selenium, that comes in the same group. Okay, obviously nickel sulfate, nickel selenium, and nickel oxide, it will have same chemical and almost identical physical properties. Okay, so okay, and then about the okay. Uh, for everything there is a beginning. If you see the laptop, okay, the previously the computer was, it was something like a big box, right? And when it is dating back to the time the computer was discovered, it was a huge machine. Now the system I am using here on, okay, even its going size is going to reduce within just a few years. So what or how it has been made successful, when the periodic table in the periodic classification has started, okay, during this beginning of 19th century, or in the mid of 19th century, or in the mid of 19th century, almost 1865, the 63 elements were not. Now, it is almost 144, 114 elements are not, right? Okay. See, when more number of elements are being discovered, that study become, actually it is becoming, not becoming easier, it is becoming difficult. Okay, because you need to arrange these elements, okay, where it will come, which group it will come, which period it will come, and the arrangement of elements, it is imperative and vital. Okay, and how the periodic classification has started. For example, I told you already that, okay, today the laptop we are using, it is something of a very smaller dimension, but in old days, how the size it was, we all know very well, right? Okay. Actually, the periodic classification, it's one of the oldest and very primitive concept, primitive way the elements were classifying was through the law of triads. Okay. So, and then it has moved to law of octaves. Then I'm sorry. Okay, then Again, it has moved to the classification based on atomic mass, and now the modern periodic table classification, it is purely based on atomic number. Okay, and why it has changed from atomic mass to atomic number? That is also your question. You must have to address. Okay, and now you see the what is a triads? Actually, it was proposed by Johann Dobereiner in 18 beginning of 18th sorry beginning of 19th century. See, in fact, see this primitive classification, even though it is primitive, okay, we cannot neglect its yeah importance. See, today it is 2020, right? That means this thing happened, almost 200 years back, right? So that time there was no sophistication, no instrumentation, there was no big apparatus, no calculator, no mobile, nothing. But it was the brilliance of the scientist, which made all these things it was possible. Okay, you can see the Dobereiner's triads. Okay, there are three. See, what he done was, he took the elements which is having the same chemical and physical properties. Okay, so you can see lithium, sodium, and potassium. Okay, see what is the atomic mass of the lithium? It is 7, and for sodium it is 23, and for potassium it is 39. Okay, so what is 39 plus 20? 39 plus 7, how much it will come? It is going to come around 46. 46 divided by 2, it is 23. So, which is the atomic mass of sodium. Okay, same way you can see here actually 137 plus 40 divided by 2, it will come around 88.3 approximately. Okay, so it is again closer to the atomic mass of this middle element. This is what the Dobereiner done. Okay, so he said that the middle element, its atomic mass will be the mean of other two elements. Okay, so you can see here sodium, lithium, potassium. uh, okay, and you can see sodium, its atomic mass is the mean of lithium and potassium. For a strontium, it is the atomic mean of calcium and barium. For bromine, it is chlorine and iodine. For selenium, it is sulfur and tellurium. Okay, but suppose there are many vehicles are going over in this road. If I am saying that okay, that particular road, maybe 2 3 accidents have happened, I am saying that okay, every year accidents used to happen, or else if I am saying every month, accidents are going to happen here. Is it that is true? No, because sometimes some coincidences can come, but we can't say that okay, we can't generalize or we can't make some exclusive conclusions with the help of it, because Dobereiner's trials, it was holding only with certain elements, okay, and not with some higher elements. So it was just dismissed as a coincidence, of course. But when there is an attempt comes, or when there is a theory comes, okay, obviously the next person who comes will be, he will be modifying, or he will be going ahead of the previous discovery. Okay, so you can see the law of octaves. It was proposed by John Alexander Newlands in 1865. He was awarded Davy Medal in 1887 for this work. We can't neglect this discovery. It's a wonderful thing. See, what he has done is, okay, remember the music notation. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. See, again, after the seventh one, eighth one, it is repeating, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. T is the seventh one. Eight is again do. That means a do, right? Do is the first one. Again, eighth one is the do. So same way, here you can see the Newlands law of octaves. Okay, he arranged the elements on the basis of uh, uh, atomic mass. Okay, increasing order of atomic mass. You can see lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Fluorine is the seventh one. Again, eighth one, it is sodium. That means, lithium and sodium, it is identical in chemical properties and physical properties, right? Lithium is a soft element. Sodium is also a soft element. Again, if it is counting from sodium to magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and potassium. Potash is again the soft element. You are able to cut using the knife. Of course, lithium, sodium, and potassium, you can it catches the fire. It vigorously reacts with the water. Okay, and same way beryllium, magnesium, and calcium, that also having the same chemical properties. Boron and aluminum, that too have the same chemical properties. Okay, so what you have to understand here is the eighth element. It is identical in its chemical as well as the physical properties, and Here also the limitations are there. This Newland's law of objectives, it was holding good. It was, it was going beyond some level, and up to the element calcium, this was true. This is true. But after calcium, this Newland's law of objectives also, it was not holding uh, correct. So obviously, further modifications will come. You know, the great thing, the periodic table, the today's modern periodic table, we are indebted to Dmitry Mendeleev. Actually, he's the one who gave foundation to this the periodic table. Actually, he's you may think, the arrangement of elements, it is just like, okay, we are seeing the properties and we are arranging. But by then, this fellow, Dmitry Mendeleev, was arranging the elements. Okay, there was, see, it is in the almost in the beginning of 18th century period. Okay, or else, almost in the end of 19th century. See, by the time he was arranging, this person, he was doing it. Okay, there was no sophisticated instruments. Even the study of electron, proton, neutrons, it was not a come. It was, or else it was just emerging. Okay, but this person, see, suppose, think in this way. I am telling you, okay, this is a machine. There is a machine over here. Okay, and there is a machine over here. You just enter into this machine within 5 seconds. Okay, you will be reaching yours. Are you going to believe that? No, because that is something beyond our imagination in existing in today. I mean, if we are comparing into the, I mean, modern science, right? Today there is no such facility that, okay, you can just enter into a machine, that machine will take you to US or Canada or some another nation within 5 seconds. Okay, so the same way, this Dmitry Mendeleev, when he was proposing a periodic table, it was meticulously done in such a way that, what could be the discoveries may happen in future, maybe after 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. Okay, that also he have foreseen. That is the meticulousness of Dmitry Mendeleev's periodic table. Actually, the first periodic law, it is properties of the element are a function of their atomic weights. Actually, the elements in the Dmitry Mendeleev periodic table, it is arranged on the basis of atomic weight alone. Okay, in fact, this periodic classification, it has credited to two scientists. One is Dmitry Mendeleev and next one is Lothar Meyer. But what happened to the Lothar Meyer is he didn't went for a documentation of this periodic classification. And the what this Mendeleev has done is, it was very meticulous, very much, extensive. He has calculated, arranged, and identified each and every simplest properties. Okay, and okay, so you can see, actually, he is the one who said that, the vertical columns, okay, it is groups, and the horizontal columns, it is periods. Okay, and see, Dmitry Mendeleev, the one of the outstanding things he did is he didn't just throw the elements into the periodic table just like just on the basis of atomic weight. He have also seen how the composition of the element. Okay, and empirical and molecular formula, and the melting point and boiling point, and of course, it's other properties, like it's whether it is solid, gas, or liquid. Okay, physical state. He have studied, everything, and only then he started arranging actually. Okay, he didn't just merely focus on only one entity, that is atomic weight. He didn't focus on only one parameter, that is atomic weight. Okay, he just studied other parameters also, sorry, other properties also. See, and he left some blanks in the periodic table. In fact, this is the Mendeleev's periodic table. You can see below aluminium there is gallium, right? Aluminium, scandium, then gallium. Actually, this gallium, he didn't fill it. Okay, he just left a blank over here. Again, here in silicon, below that there is germanium. Same way, where there is germanium also, he left blank. Okay, he called it as Eka aluminium, and then for germanium it is Eka silicon. And means, Eka means something before. So he said that there would be new elements. It will get discovered over in that places. Okay, and again you can see in the one, two, three. Okay, sixth period, sixth group. Okay, You can see oxygen, sulfur, chromium, selenium, molybdenum, tellurium. Okay, and you can seventh one, fluorine, chlorine, manganese, bromine, iodine. Okay, see here tellurium and iodine, which is having the lower atomic mass. It is iodine. Still, still, Dmitry Mendeleev he put iodine along with this fluorine, chlorine, bromine. Okay, and he's because he know that the properties of these elements are same also. Properties of iodine it is same also bromine, chlorine, and fluorine. Okay, that means I can tell you. Let me tell you repeatedly that okay, he didn't relate only on the basis of atomic mass. Now he predicted Eka aluminum, which is nothing other than gallium. Its atomic weight is 68 for Eka aluminum. For gallium, it is 70. Density, see the relation between what he predicted and what found. Density is 5.9 for he predicted 5.9. Real one is 5.94. He said that Eka aluminum have a low melting point. In fact, the melting point is 29.778 Kelvin. If you keep gallium on your palm, it will be melting because your body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Here, it's uh, degree Celsius. It is just around 29.78. Okay, it is coming close to. It's very lesser than body temperature. Okay, you see how meticulously he has predicted. Okay, and even empirical and molecular formula he has predicted very well. Okay, now it is every year the scientific community, particularly the chemistry people, they are celebrating the periodic table. Okay, because there is no periodic table means there is no chemistry, or you can say that there is no research, there is no modern research, because the periodic table is making the task that much easier. So it is I have to say a little bit about Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. Okay, actually he was not only a chemist, he was very well involved with the other areas, I mean, maintenance and natural resources, distributing the resources, he was, Russia's natural resources. He was credited with many of the other discoveries, many of the other important research work in this area. Okay. Of course, now in order to commemorate his importance in the periodic table. Okay, the atomic number, the element with the atomic number 101, it was given the name Mendelevium. Okay, it is with the symbol MD. In fact, this element was discovered by Siaborg. His name is okay, Glenn T. Siaborg. Okay, okay. When he discovered the element, what he could have given his own name, right? But he gave the name of Mendelevium. The reason he said this, not for giving the name, but he said this, actually there should be something in the periodic table in order to commemorate the importance of Mendeleev. Okay. Now let's come to the modern periodic table. Of course, uh, actually the modern periodic table, it has, you cannot say that it has completely revolutionized the periodic classification. Instead, it has just corrected some of the limitations of the previous periodic table. Okay, it was given with the modern periodic table. It was, modern periodic law. It is based on atomic number. The elements are arranged on the basis of increasing atomic number. Here a question has to be answered. Why we are going away from atomic mass to atomic number? Why we are not still relying on atomic mass? Because atomic mass, it is a fractional number. You cannot rely on that. Actually, atomic number, okay, it is actually a fundamental property, because for chlorine you see Cl, or sodium you see Na plus, it have 10 electrons, Na it have 11 electrons, but both have the protons, it is 11. Okay, so the neutrons also sometimes varies, the electrons also sometimes varies, but the proton, it is a very fundamental property of a particular element. Okay, not only that, it's a number for a 12, atomic number 12, it is magnesium. Okay, it just goes one by one. Magnesium 12, and aluminum it is 13. For silicon it is 14. Okay, so like that, just one by one it increases. So, if you plot a graph by taking the atomic number versus, okay, uh, the frequency of the X-ray, okay, frequency of the X-ray which uh, passes through the particular element, okay, you can see that you will get a straight line, okay. So that means, if there is a very straight line, that shows that, that particular quantity, it is increasing in a regular interval, and there is no such a way that, okay, something like, there is no such way that, there is something like, okay, how to say, uh, it is, it is increasing in a definite way, not like atomic mass, okay. So uh, of course, modern periodic table also, actually it is having, uh, we can say that, how many groups are there? It is 18 groups are there, okay. So one, two, three, and then so on, 18 groups, and 7 periods are there, okay. And here actually modern periodic table, if you see the first group, actually it is alkali metal, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. See, if you see its electronic configuration, it's lithium, it is 2 1, sodium it is 2 8 1, potassium it is 2 8 8 1, and rubidium it is 2 8 18 8 1. Okay, all have one electron in the outermost shell. And if you see the for a second one, then beryllium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, barium, and radium. Okay, that you have, just 2 electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, so this is a very important property. The number of electrons in the outermost shell for a particular period, sorry, for a particular group, it is going to be same. Okay, and there are some notable families in the periodic table. It is first and second one, it is alkali and alkaline earth metals. Middle one, it is transition metals. The the 18th group, we call it as noble gases, because it is noble because it doesn't react with anything. And the 17th group, it is halogen. Why it is called halogen? Because it is colored. Fluorine, it is yellowish green, and bromine, it is reddish brown, and iodine, it is violet. And for again 16th group, we call it as a chalcogens. Okay, so this is it about periodic table, and we will see you to the next lesson. See you.